Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive with us.
Ah.
You guys know how much we all use email every single day.
It's pretty much constant.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the one thing
Well,
that,
it never ends.
yeah, it never ends. So you guys actually sent us a really cool guide asking us to really get down to the nuts and bolts of how email works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's super fascinating to see how much complexity is hidden behind something that we just take for granted.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you just expect it to work and you never really think about what's happening behind the scenes.
Right.
It's
Yep.
like magic.
Exactly. Like you type a message, you hit send, and it just instantly appears in somebody's inbox on the other side of the world.
I know. And it's been around for so long.
So long.
Like you would think that it would be outdated by now.
You would think.
But it's still going strong.
It's still going strong.
I think it's because it's so simple.
Yeah.
And it just works.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And, this guide starts off with this really cool image of a keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what's highlighted?
I don't know. What is it?
The @ symbol.
Oh, the @ symbol.
The @ symbol.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so interesting because I've never really thought about it, but that's kind of the heart of an email address, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like the thing that makes it an email address.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like if you didn't have that symbol,
Yeah.
it would just be like a word.
Yeah, just a username.
Yeah, exactly.
Currently.
I never really thought about it that way.
I know.
But it's true.
It's so true.
Like that little symbol
Yeah.
is really important.
Yeah, it is.
It's more than just the heart.
Okay.
It's like the key to your digital identity.
Whoa.
Think about it.
Okay.
Before email, you were tied to a physical address.
Okay.
But the @ symbol lets you exist online, separate from any physical location.
That's so interesting.
Example at caphallprimary.com or example at domainname.co.uk. These aren't just addresses, they're digital identities.
That is a really cool way to look at it.
Right.
Yeah, so example would be the username, right? And then caphallprimary.com is the domain, their online home.
Exactly. It's kind of like a street address.
Okay.
Like you have your house number and then your street name.
Yeah.
And then your city and state and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but for the internet.
It's like the same thing, but for email.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar to a postal system, but instead of streets and cities, we have usernames and domains.
Okay.
And this system is what makes it possible to send messages instantly across the globe.
Yeah, and it's crazy how fast it is.
I know.
It's instantaneous.
Right. Like you hit send and boom.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. And it's something that we all take for granted.
I know. It's like we don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like second nature to us. But yeah, it's pretty amazing when you think about it.
Yeah, it really is. Now, I did want to talk about composing an email
Yeah.
because in this guide, they have this illustration of an email compose window, and there's a whole bunch of fields.
Oh, yeah. Like the to and the subject.
Yeah, to and
The-
subject, and
yeah.
then there's CC and BCC and all these other things. And I was wondering, what are the important ones to remember when you're composing an email?
Well, I think the most important ones are the to field.
Okay.
Because that's obviously where you put the email address of the person you're sending the email to.
Right.
And then the subject field is also important
Okay.
because that's what people see when they're looking at their inbox.
Right. So it needs to be clear and concise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that people know what the email is about before they even open it.
Yeah. And then there's CC and BC.
Yeah, those are a little bit more advanced.
Okay.
CC stands for carbon copy,
Okay.
and it basically means that you're sending a copy of the email to someone else. But the main recipient can see that you sent a copy to that person.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a secret or anything.
Got it.
But BC is a little bit different.
Okay.
BCC stands for blind carbon copy,
Okay.
and it means that you're sending a copy of the email to someone else, but the main recipient and anyone else who's been CC'd can't see that you sent a copy to that person.
Oh, that is tricky.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a secret way to send someone a copy of an email.
Okay.
And I have to admit, I've definitely used BCC to loop someone in on a conversation without making it obvious.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I feel like it's a super useful tool,
It is super useful.
but it's important to use it responsibly.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be using it to spy on people or anything like that.
Right. You want to be shady.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
It's a powerful tool, but like any tool, it can be used for good or not so good.
Right.
It highlights the importance of email etiquette,
Yeah.
which is something we don't always think about.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's like we just kind of fire off emails and
Yeah, we don't really think about the person on the other end.
yeah,
But
Exactly.
it's important to remember that there is a real person on the other end and that our words have impact,
They do.
even though we're not saying them to their face.
Right. It's like we need to be mindful of that.
Definitely.
Speaking of things that we don't always think about,
Mm.
this guide also has this glossary of terms
Oh, yeah?
like attachments, spam, cyberbullying. Like, we all kind of know what these mean.
Yeah.
But is there anything in there that we should be paying extra attention to?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand what each of those terms means
Okay.
because they can have a big impact on your online safety and security.
Gotcha.
So let's talk about attachments first.
Okay.
An attachment is basically a file that you can send along with an email.
Okay.
It could be a document, a picture, a video, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's a really convenient way to share files with people.
Super convenient.
But it's important to be careful about the attachments that you open
Okay. Why is that?
because attachments can contain viruses or malware
Oh,
that can harm your computer.
gotcha.
So you should only open attachments from people that you trust.
That makes sense.
And if you're not sure about an attachment, it's always best to err on the side of caution and not open it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, attachments can be really useful, but you just got to be careful.
Be careful.
Now let's talk about spam.
Okay.
Spam is basically unsolicited email that you get.
Okay.
It's usually trying to sell you something or get you to click on a link.
Yeah, like those weight loss ads and stuff like that.
Exactly. And a lot of times it's just annoying,
Yeah.
but it can also be dangerous
Okay.
because spam can carry phishing attempts.
What's that?
So phishing is where someone tries to trick you into giving them your personal information,
Oh,
like your password or your credit card number.
okay.
They might send you an email that looks like it's from a legitimate company, like your bank or something.
So they make it look like it's real?
Yeah, exactly. And they'll try to get you to click on a link in the email
Okay.
that takes you to a fake website
How?
that looks like the real website.
Okay.
And then they'll try to get you to enter your personal information on that fake website.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah, it's really scary.
So how can you, like, tell if an email is spam or if it's like a phishing email?
Well, there are a few things that you can look for.
Okay.
One is to look at the sender's email address.
Okay.
If it's from an address that you don't recognize or if it looks kind of weird or suspicious, then it might be spam.
Gotcha.
Another thing to look for is grammatical errors or typos in the email.
Okay.
A lot of times spammers are not native English speakers.
Right.
And so their emails might have some mistakes in them.
Gotcha.
And then another thing to look for is if the email is trying to create a sense of urgency.
Okay.
Like if it's saying that you need to act now or you'll miss out on something.
Gotcha.
That's a common tactic that spammers use.
Wow. So there's like a lot of things that you can look for to try to spot a spam email.
Yeah, there are. And it's important to be aware of them.
Yeah.
Because spam can be more than just irritating. It can be dangerous.
Right.
Carrying phishing attempts or malware designed to steal your information.
Gotcha.
Recognizing and avoiding spam is crucial for staying safe online.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah,
It's easy to just click delete, you know, but we need to be vigilant.
we do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's cyberbullying, which is obviously a huge issue.
Yeah, cyberbullying is a really serious problem.
Yeah.
And it's something that we need to be talking about more
Total.
because it can have a devastating impact on people's lives.
Yeah. And it's so easy to do online because, you have that anonymity.
Exactly. Email provides anonymity,
Yeah.
which can be used for both positive and negative purposes.
Right. It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's a reminder that even though we're interacting through screens, there's a real person on the other side.
Totally.
And our words have impact.
They really do. Yeah.
So it's important to think about that before you send an email.
Be mindful.
Yes, be mindful.
Okay. And then the last two terms on this list are log on and log off.
Oh, yeah, those are important ones too.
Okay.
So log on basically means to sign in to your account.
Okay.
So like if you have an email account, you have to log on to access your email.
Right.
And then log off means to sign out of your account.
Okay.
So when you're done checking your email, you should always log off.
Then why is that?
Because if you don't log off, then someone else could come along and access your account.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's really important to log off, especially if you're using a public computer.
Right, like at a library or something.
Exactly, because you don't know who's going to be using that computer after
Oh,
you.
yeah. See, I always got to log off to be safe.
Think of log on as entering your digital home. You're presenting your username and password to get access.
Okay.
Log off is closing the door behind you, ensuring your information stays secure.
Gotcha.
It's a simple habit, but it's essential for protecting your privacy.
Okay, so we've gone over the history, the anatomy, the terminology, and It's clear that email is more than just sending messages.
It is.
It's like this complex system
Yeah,
with its own set of rules and etiquette,
definitely.
built on this foundation of technology that allows us to connect all across the world.
It's pretty amazing.
It really is, but where do we go from here? Like, will email always be around?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
I mean, while it's been remarkably resilient,
It has.
the way we communicate is constantly evolving.
Yeah, new technologies are emerging all the time.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
So it's hard to say what the future holds for email.
it's hard to say, yeah.
Could email become the next telegram?
Ooh.
A relic of the past?
Ooh. I never thought about it like that.
Or will it adapt and find its place in the future of communication?
That is a really thought-provoking question.
I know.
I think we're going to leave that one for our listeners to ponder.
Yeah.
But thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of email.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been really illuminating.
It has.
All right, we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye!